Star Report. I'm your host, Star, a.k.a. Troy Terrain, the illustrious and praiseworthy, repping Emerald Isle, North Carolina, okay? All right, you see the title, Jim Jones, not being charged in the airport brawl that happened in Fort Lauderdale, at the Fort Lauderdale-Hollywood International Airport. This happened a couple days ago. Many of you saw the 2-on-1, okay? Jim Jones, a.k.a. Capo, Dipset, and I think he and Mano have a project called the Lobby Boys, right? Now I have to ask you off the rip, is Jim a CI, a confidential informant? How are you from another state having a fight in the airport and you don't get arrested? Now we cool. I haven't spoke to him in years, but you know, there's no tension, no issue, no beef. But wasn't he supposed to have been handcuffed? We saw the video. He's sitting down after the melee ensued, and you know he's woofing and barking. But now, according to TMZ and other sources, Jim gave a statement, right, with regards to the fight. Would that be technically snitching? You know, a crime went down. At first, it started on the airplane when he was in first class taking one of his bags down. One of the other guys who Jim pointed out pushed Jim in the chest, and Jim grabbed his arm and, you know, I guess someone sort of checked him. And then another guy wanted the smoke, you know, when they were on the escalator after they got the bags. Is that CI activity? If you ask me, yes, just spell my name backwards. You know what it is. But now he has not been charged. I think that's a good thing. Yes, he's a father. I think he's a grandfather, respectfully. I'm not sure. But, you know, listen, Jim's a businessman, and he's a nice guy. Last time we spoke, great conversation, but that ain't got shit to do with shit. This was a brawl in the airport on the escalator. You see the video footage. That's my main show topic, and this came out today. This is breaking news. The fact that he will not be charged. The police said they reviewed the video footage, and they said no, it's you know, it was self-defense. Well, how would they come to that conclusion unless, you know, he talked to them? What happened to all that? Yo, fuck 12. We'll talk to police. I don't know, okay? Also, guys, I need a little time with regards to booting and immobilization of vehicles. An associate of mine, not necessarily a friend, called me asking me to assist him with some legal advice. I'm not a lawyer, but, you know, I just have a lot of legal experience. And, you know, I didn't really want to connect him with a lawyer that I work with on a consistent basis, but I started, after asking him about the situation with his a boot being put on his vehicle. I said, well, let me do a little research. So I started doing some research earlier today. Wow, this is a scam, if you will, nationwide. In some states, it's called a wheel clamp or a wheel boot or a parking boot, or a Denver boot. Why do they call it a Denver boot? I don't know. But and there's levels to this. Some of these companies are not necessarily run by the city. I saw a video where a woman was going to visit her parents, right? And she had her permit, parking permit, for the area which her parents live in had expired. They then went on a trip to Disneyland or some goddamn where. She starts getting text messages from the neighbors saying that the HOA put not one but two wheel clamps on her vehicle. The HOA, Homeowners Association. Damn! Then I saw some new type of device that they put on your windshield, something with suction cups. Now, this is not just people who deal with child support payments, but a lot of this is due to illegal parking. Some of it has to do with if you park at a meter where the meter is broken, you can get a boot, and these charges are from $150 up until $200, if not more. This is a world I want to talk about. wheel clamps. Now, and there was also guys who get bonuses if they give out a certain amount of boots per 2-week period. Have you been a victim of a wheel clamp, a wheel boot, or a parking boot? Let's get these phones cracking early, okay? All right. Also, folks, I put something in the community section for those who, for those who care about history or for those who like to read. If not, don't worry yourself about it. But there have been many, many black communities, not just neighborhoods here in America. And if you don't do your research, then you may have never heard of these places. But again, in my community section, if you want to call in, I would love to go over the details with you. Myself, having come to North Carolina since the early 70s, Durham to be precise. You've heard me speak about my beautiful family on my father's side, Kent Street in Durham to be precise. I spent 2 summers there. So I had early knowledge, and that's when I first saw a female black pastor. The first time I was tiny, and the whole goddamn church was sweating, but it was rocking. They singing to Mahalia Jackson. I'm chewing the goddamn taco Doritos. So I'm familiar with a lot of these older black communities. But do you care? That's the question. Do you care, right? All right, let's get to the show here this evening. And I want to know, man, is Troll Babies, is Jim a CI, How can a guy at that age, pardon me, you know what? I should Google Lobby Boys. Hold on a second. Didn't he and Mano put out a project? Lobby Boys. Lobby Boys. There you go. All right. Well, I haven't heard this to be respectful, but what are they talking about? Robbing, shooting, drug dealing. You can't do that sort of thing and continue to promote that sort of lifestyle if someone doesn't, allow you to do so. Yes, no, right? And I've heard audio with him talking to, let me see if I have the name right. Is it Mel Matrix? Correct me if I'm wrong. Troll Babies? One of those guys from Brooklyn back in the days. I'm asking. Guys, also, if you want to talk about any updates with regards to Kendrick Lamar, Drake, I'm open for the conversation. I just haven't kept up. I'm just kind of like, somewhat sort of pivoting, but I'm here for the bullshit. Yes, I am. Janet, I got your email. Thank you so much. I did not have time to read the whole thing, but I did respond. And Janet also sent a donation. I sent a long email. Okay, Janet, well, I'll read it after the show, okay? After the show. Tonight, I just want to, relax and talk about these 2 topics. Booting and immobilization of vehicles. Hang on a second. Oh, and give me a minute because I don't want to put too much on the table. Is Cardi B being canceled? Get to that later. As I said, at the Met Gala, her dress, she shut it down. But there's some type of controversy going on right now because she forgot the name of the designer. And she said, yeah, he's Asian or something like that. And they're upset. Stacey Glore, are you out there? Is this on your platform? Stacey Glore. All right. Let's get to the bullshit, guys. I want to talk about these topics this evening. Area code 513. Good evening. Good evening. 513.
How you doing today?
Yes,
how you doing, Star?
Hey, man. Who's this? What's cracking?
Chilling, man. I'm getting it off the speaker, man.
Okay.
I'll be usually holding for a while.
Okay. I appreciate your patience, man. Jim Jones, is Jim a CI? How do you get into a brawl in the airport and you're not cuffed?
Hey, you talking about that? You talking about that, Star? What about the case in Atlanta that disappeared?
Yeah, wasn't that on the outskirts? He got caught with a firearm.
Yeah,
he's a felon.
Burner, some pounds of weed.
Yeah,
yeah, some pounds. Yeah, yeah, I remember that popping off. I ain't putting nothing on nobody, but I'm just saying, yeah.
All right, where are you from, sir? What state are you from?
I'm from Ohio. I'm right outside Cincinnati, about 20 minutes outside Cincinnati.
Okay.
Middletown. Middletown.
The home of William Collins. Yes.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Boosie. Come on, talk to me.
Boosie,
Come on, talk to me now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know it.
Now hang on.
Roger Troutman, Computer Love. Love. Don't forget about that star.
Yeah.
Computer Love.
Hang on. Wasn't Roger from Dayton?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm right in the middle. That's why they call it Middletown. I'm in between Cincinnati and Dayton.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah. And one of my top 5 favorite bands, Slave. But now let's pull it back in to the topic here. Okay, so now a lot of them New York niggas are rats, and they're snitches, right? New York niggas stay snitching.
Not New York niggas across this whole motherfucker, man. Yeah, niggas is telling fast.
Please watch the language, sir. Please, I want to try and.
Sorry about that, sir. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, star.
No. So New York in particular, going back to Nicky Barnes and all them old niggas.
Oh yeah,
man. Tell him.
Oh yeah, on. Harlem especially Harlem.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
That's what it's been, man. That's what it's been. That's what's going on. That's why I say a lot of times when you be looking at how folks stand for things, like certain folks stand for stuff. Keep in mind, John Gotti was in prison 23 hours a day, got an hour out. They said, Gotti, you can go to a different facility where you can be around inmates and everything. Mm-hmm. All you got to do is tell us that the mafia exists, because it'll be the first time that a mob boss actually admitted that the mafia existed.
Yeah.
Gotti said, if y'all don't get the hell out of my cell, come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, now hang on a sec, sir. Let's bring this back into the topic. Jim Jones not charged down there in Fort Lauderdale. Did you see the video? It came out a couple days ago.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir. Yeah. But they said them dudes was on some bull crap, though, Star. They said that it started on the plane. Mm-hmm. Jim was trying to get his bag off the overhead thing before the plane actually stopped.
Right.
And somebody confronted him on that. Like, man, chill out. And then, Jim explained what he was doing and everything. And that dude kind of chilled out. And then his partner flipped out. Like, man, no, man, you ain't running nothing, man. Woo, all this, that. But when they got in the airport, they end up hitting. They end up jumping him.
Yeah.
That's the story that I've got, Star. I don't know how true that is. I'm just giving it to you how I got it.
Okay, stay with me. Now, you said Jim explained what happened, yes?
It was actually a girl giving a tea.
No, sir. I have the report. Jim Jones gave a statement. Now, you correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
You correct me?
No. Okay.
You correct me if I'm wrong, sir. Since when do real niggas give statements to police?
Any statement, Star.
Huh?
Any statement, any at all. Yeah. You speak to your lawyer. That's how the game supposed to go.
Facts.
You speak to your lawyer.
Facts.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I'm just, I'm dodging haymakers. I don't know,
I'm on the same thing, man, but I thought it was funny. That it would go down that way, and at the very least, you don't get detained, though. If that's me, I'm gonna get detained, man. They gonna at least hold me. They might release you in 24 hours or 8 hours or something, but you gonna have to. 9 times out of 10, you gonna get arrested, man. You getting arrested, man. So whatever.
Sir,
all parties,
sir. 10 times out of 10, if you're a fucking felon, pardon my language, if you're a felon from another state and you get into a brawl in the airport, the steel bracelets have to go on you. If not, so, then, somebody, as you just said, what happened to the gun charge in Georgia? Huh?
Come on, man. That's the type of thing I'll be talking about. And that airport, Star, it changed completely after 9/11. You can't sneeze in that thing. Too crazy. Now, you know what I mean? It's way different than it was. At one time, you could.
God bless the TSA. Check everybody. Check
Get butt naked. Get butt naked. Call. Get butt naked. Call. Bend over and call.
Right. I need you to take the newborn out the goddamn stroller so we can check that motherfucker for all sorts of possible explosives. Come on, finish up.
Come on, it's totally different, man. I ain't got too much else to say, Star. I appreciate you giving me the time.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you too, Star.
Okay, Salute. Okay, hang on a second. Hang on. Troll Babies, what's cracking with Jim Jones? Oh, okay. Somebody said Zip with the Drip was going in on Jimmy. Oh, okay. I've never met Zip with the Drip, but, you know, in his words, let's get to that. Let's get to that. Oh, man. Okay, so let me pull back and not, you know, accuse Jim. But niggas giving statements? He just had a fight. Jenna, are you calling in? I see you. I got your other email. What's cracking? She says, "What? Okay, watching it now." Yeah, Janet. Thank you so much, Janet. Also, folks, I want to say this early. If you are a sponsor to this machine, you get what's considered to be prime real estate. If you're watching this show and you don't see your information on that showrunner, it's okay for you to email me, text me. You are a priority. Sometimes I forget. I get to doing too much, and I am happy to promote my sponsors. You should all have a range for that live chat. In the community section, make sure that you leave a comment with a link to your platform under your banner. If you don't see your banner, email me. We don't let nobody talk crazy about sponsors in the community section. So to make sure you know that, okay? All right, hold on a second. Here's my nigga Florida Boy Jay. That's what I'm talking about, man. Florida Boy Jay, what's popping? Big nigga, big nigga.
Yo.
Hey, yes, sir.
Yo.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. A real nigga network. You know, FBA proud niggas walking around my head held high. You know, we got the dub. What's going on, man? What's going on?
Well, you are the president of the Real Nigga Network. So, hey, man, I have to ask you early. Jim Jones, he gave a statement out there in Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood. And he has not been charged, but that was a brawl, man. I mean, why wasn't he cuffed? And you know, and everybody go see the judge. Everybody.
I mean, come on, man. This is the same Jim Jones who even 6ix9ine told you what affiliation he was in, and nobody ran down on. This is the same Jim Jones.
Come closer to the phone, Florida Boy Jay, please. Closer to the phone, please.
Yeah, this is the same Jim Jones who years ago was on camera on Love and Hip Hop, and yoked the nigga up behind Chrissy, and we ain't see nobody run down on Jim Jones for that. What you're saying, also the video proof of him punching and running down on Freddie Gibbs at a Prime 112 in Miami. Where's my Harlem niggas at? But I got a question. I'm not gonna pinpoint.
Come on.
But I just remember some snitching allegations came out on a biracial superstar last week, and everybody turned a blind eye. We just talked about goalpost hooping. We're gonna stick on Jim Jones.
Well, who?
Jim Jones.
Who you talking about last week? Who?
Oh, your boy Drizzy Drake, who got robbed at the spot, and then they have paperwork. You know, he cooperated with police when they ran down on his AP and took his chain, and that's public information. But we all let it pass because, like I was telling you earlier, we all moved the goalpost low enough so wheelchair Jimmy can dunk and feel like everybody else. You know, but back to the Jim Jones angle. Yeah, man. I want to say, first of all, salute to Jim Jones, you know, showing that, you know, the older niggas should be working out because you never know when somebody's trying to run down on you. So I just want to salute from defending himself, but it comes at a price at the airport. I'm sorry. A nigga like who's making as much money as Jim Jones, somebody like me who's a frequent flyer who has clear and, you know, I got to get through the TSA and everything. We make people who are frequent flyers make too much money going back and forth to be jeopardizing it for beefs or fights. Star, you told us a long time ago, just take your L and go home. But guess who doesn't have to? People who work with the law, or are above the law or affiliated with the law. They don't play
Right.
by the same rules as us civilians because we are not on police payroll.
Okay. Now, hang on, man. I need to ask you two things. NBA playoffs update. Anything you want to put on the table? And also, don't let me forget, when's the next time you're going live, or is there anything I should be promoting in my community section? I didn't get a new link from you yet, but let's go to the NBA playoffs. Yeah, where are we? What's going on with the New York Knicks?
Yeah, right now with the New York Knicks, they are currently beating the Indiana Pacers. It's 6 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third quarter. They're up by 5.
Okay.
They're trying to get a 2-0 lead on the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. I believe the Knicks will win the series against the Pacers pretty easy. Right now, we are seeing the emergence of Anthony Edwards. I don't know if you caught Anthony Edwards yet, but
I spoke about him yesterday. I was asking, is he the truth? Yesterday. Yesterday's show.
Star, this FBA dark-skinned nigga from Georgia is the truth and the light. He is when you see these prep school suburban kids get play AAU basketball and the niggas from the hood run down on them on the court. That's what you see with Anthony Edwards. You're seeing a football mind on the basketball court. He's next up, Star.
Okay.
Get on the train now while you can.
Okay. Let's go back to the Knicks for a second. And here's the reason why I'm asking you. I did not see the full video, but the rapper Action Bronson, I fuck with him, kind of heavy. He says the Knicks now are better than the Knicks from the 90s when Mason and Patrick Ewing and John Starks were on the team. Are you up to speed on that?
Yeah, I heard him say that. But you got to understand that just like most of these Knicks fans, unless you really want to be a hater, which I know you do, but in an objective way, this is the best shot they've had of reaching the finals since that era. But he's telling a bold-faced lie, and this is why we be wanting New York niggas to lose. Because it's like they're the Cowboy fans of the NBA. When you finally look like a competent franchise, you're ready to throw Drew Pearson and jump out the window and tell me Tony Romo's better than Troy Aikman, or you're better to tell me that this team is better than Patrick Ewing-led team. You don't even have a center that can go up against Patrick Ewing. You don't even have a forward to go up against Oakley because Robinson just got hurt. He's having He's having a series-ending surgery, and then Julius Randle just got hurt. So you don't even have a big man to go up against those '90s Knicks. But I understand they're sipping the Kool-Aid.
Okay. So aside from the Knicks, any other NBA teams that we should be watching during the playoffs? I'm not fully in the loop, but just see if we can pull this back in.
Yeah, it's gonna look like the Celtics are gonna ease past their series. It's probably gonna be the Celtics and Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals, and then when you go to the West, the Thunder just beat the Mavericks last night. The Mavericks led by Luka, Kyrie Irving. I don't know if you've heard, Kyrie Irving is playing probably some of the best basketball of his career.
I saw some of the highlights. He's doing the damn thing. Yes, go ahead.
Right, but I don't know if they have enough firepower to beat OKC, so I'm thinking it's going to be the Oklahoma City Thunder with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander versus Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves coming out of the West, and it's good for the NBA because these are two newer franchises, haven't experienced a lot of success, are led by a lot of young guys, 24 and under. And this is a good sign for the NBA as far as parity goes.
Okay. Hey, man, great to talk to you. Any comments, any thoughts on wheel clamps? An associate of mine, not necessarily a friend, he's going through some stuff and asked me to help him out. I haven't gotten back to him, but this is a hell of a racket. Wheel clamps and wheel boots.
Yeah, I have no real strong comments on that. Just before I do go, I went live Friday for Perspective Facts Podcast. We did a show. It was really good. I told you started streaming on Twitter also. So now we're getting hundreds of views, live views just on Twitter. So salute to the platform X, open up to a new audience. But the reason why I didn't send you the link, because there was so much news happening this weekend, I had to go live Sunday night. And then I went live Monday night, and then me and J Dub did another episode, Perspective Facts.
Salute to J Dub.
Exactly. And then we're going to be going live for another show this Friday. So when the news slows down, I can start sending episodes. But if niggas is getting shot, He's getting laid down. We going live every day at this point.
Okay, you're making big Willie moves. I appreciate you. Thank you for tapping in, Florida Boy Jay. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, man. You have a great night.
Okay. I appreciate that, young man. Keeps me up to speed. Okay. Mech, we do it. Hey, Don, she says, supporting you, Star, very good friend of King Simon. Okay, yes. Thank you for your donation. Mech, we do it. Did I say that right? Okay. King Simon, one of the few people that I will allow to call me brother. Okay. Blade says the nigga also got caught on wiretap planning with those 9 Trey niggas to assault Tekashi. No charges. Sir Shire, you're tapping in, sir. He says, Star, New York Knickerbockers are on Indiana Pacers. Okay. Sounds hot, sir. I'm a Knick hater. You already know that. Let's go to area code 651. Good evening. Jim Jones will not be charged. Airport brawl in Fort Lauderdale. You have to speed. 651. Yes, no, maybe?
Hey, yeah. Is this me? Can you hear me?
Yes, good evening. Are you ready?
Oh, my. Hey, man. Oh, man, I'm Prince. First of all, I just want to thank you for having me on this set, bro. I really appreciate you.
Okay.
I ain't trying to hear these high yelling niggas come and beat us no more. Like, bro, I just trying to be on the top. And
well, beat who, sir? Who's us? Can you enlighten us? Where you going?
I always think about the last time we spoke, it's just the whole Drake beef and everything, man. It's crazy. It's going crazy. And now,
did I speak to you yesterday? No.
This is the first time I've ever came on here, man.
Okay.
I'm
How old are you, sir? And where you calling from? Let's start there.
I'm 20. I'm 20, and I'm a junior college student in Wisconsin, man.
Good for you.
I'm a basketball player.
Okay,
yeah, man.
Okay.
So yeah, I play basketball.
Do you have an update with regards to Drake and Kendrick Lamar? I don't know where things are right now. I know that there was a shooting outside of Drake's house. A nigga got shot, but he's not dead. You have anything new to tell us? I saw something about Kendrick Lamar and his wife Whitney, but I don't really want to put her into the mix just yet. Any updates on that stuff?
Yeah, man. So I actually listened to Academic Stream, and a guy he brought great knowledge about what he knew about Toronto and Kendrick and Toronto and Drake. And it's crazy.
Listen, I fuck with academics heavy, and more than likely you found me through academics. That's a great thing. But now, with regards to the battle and the tension, are they done? Any more tracks coming from either one of those guys, or did Drake wave the white flag? I heard that he don't want no more smoke. That's what I heard.
Man, if I'm being honest, man, like after this last song, The Heart 6, I think that Drake just came back, man. After that, it was down at first because Kendrick had him, but then he came back with the Heart 6, and now it's kind of in the both ways. I'm seeing people think that the beef is over from Drake and that he's done for, and then everybody's on Kendrick's side, but it's still kind of
not everybody. Now most people are saying Kendrick is up. I'm still riding with Drake.
I mean, I know I see. I don't know why. I mean, Drake is. I mean, people really, they think the guy in the podcast yesterday, he brought up a good point. He's like, people think that Drake is just, he's not doing things, but Drake, he's the most accessible, famous person in the whole world because he has an open, because they have an open crib, right? So I mean, he has a crib.
Yeah, he doesn't live in a gated community, so just any savage degenerate can just drive up to his fucking home and start bucking shots out of a firearm. But listen, man, I appreciate you tapping in. Any thoughts on Jim Jones not being charged? That's my main topic.
Jim Jones, yeah, of course.
Not being charged.
I want to know more about it.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out the main, because I've heard that name, Jim Jones. I remember.
Yeah,
I didn't.
He's an old nigga. If you don't know his music like that, don't worry, he's an old nigga. You said you're 20, right? And you're in school.
Yeah, man.
All right. Salute to you, man. And I want to see you get your education, okay? And go ahead and graduate. Do 4 years, all right?
Thank you, man. I graduated in a week. I appreciate you.
Okay, God bless. Here, man. God bless, man. God bless.
All right, see you.
Folks, that was a young man, and you see, it's practice for me sometimes to slow down and to hear a young person out like that because I don't have biological kids. I got nephews, but most of them are older now. It helps me to slow down, you know, and just even though they talk different, they process different, you know, just hear him out, let him speak. He's in school. Salute. He's going to the institution of learning. Yeah, I'll give him props for that. Guys on the screen, www.gurubusinesscenter.com. Alicia, if you're out there, you can always call in. I would love to hear from you. Anything new going on with your platform? Okay. Sir Shy, where is Sir Shy? I don't see him in the queue. I don't know if I have his number or not, but I got your other donation. Thank you so much. Let's go to area. Oh, there's Janet. Hold on a second. Janet, good evening. How are you on a Wednesday? Thank you for your donation. And I got your email, Janet.
Hey, Star.
Hey.
You talking about Jim Jones?
Yeah, Janet, listen, you're from my generation. Is that nigga a confidential informant? What's going on with that nigga? Huh? Come on, Janet.
Of course he is.
A fight in the airport and you don't get cuffed? What the fuck?
Of course he is. What?
Come on.
Of course he is.
Come on.
Of course he is. You know how a man stay out. That man is living a good life. He took a page from your book. Just tell, snitch, point.
Just tell. Listen, I gotta get out of here. And I saw him on Instagram a couple of hours after the goddamn fight. He's smiling, talking me, yo, I'll talk to y'all later. I'm getting ready to host an event. He went from the airport to hosting a goddamn event. He didn't miss a beat.
They're right.
What's going on, man? Pardon me, I just said man. Janet, what's going on? What's going on?
Nothing much. I was just thinking about I seen that Haiti. How we pronounce that? Haiti.
Janet, don't even put that on the table unless you're ready to break it down. You know, there's so much rich history in North Carolina, and I put that in the community section for those who, like yourself, you know, you're a reader like myself, you do research like myself, but I'm not going to try and beat people over the head with certain historical facts and things like that, because today's generation, they don't really care. But were you familiar with that place once upon a time?
No. This was my first time hearing about it. And I thank you for that. Yeah. This was my first time hearing about it. I mean, I have researched a lot of Black communities of the past and, you know, and what happened to them. And it seemed like it's the same. You know, they had a good thing going. And all of a sudden in the 1960s, they did an urban renewal and got rid of it. And I'm like, you know, they told us to pull ourselves up by our own bootstraps, but they cut the straps. And it's crazy, you know, and we need to learn these things, because the way they got us thinking today, they really got us believing those myths that they put on us. You know, it's a shame. It's a shame, you know. Well, but the reason.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. You were saying? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I mean, these things are important to me because when I do my road trips, as you know, I go to these historical places. I have been doing this for a couple of decades. These are things I learned about growing up in Scotch Plains, New Jersey, whether it was from my mother, my father, private school. So I try to at least put boots to the ground to go there. But a lot of this stuff, now if black people talk about this stuff, oh, you're still crying and playing victim. I will never accept being ridiculed for searching this history. You feel me?
No, you shouldn't. It's important because we have to know who we are. We have to know what happened to us. We have to stop believing the myths and the lies that people told us about ourselves. Yeah. And if we could do that, then we won't have people on stages with they, bending over, showing their booty hole, or these women's out here calling each other bees, and then not knowing that we don't have to be in competition.
Well,
we don't have to be in I'm sorry, I'm one of them days. We don't have to be in competition with each other. We could all advance together, and then.
Well, no. I don't believe we can all advance together. We're going someplace else now. These things. No. Hang on. These things that I research and that I want to experience firsthand are from my own selfish needs. I'm not with all that wee shit. But hang on a second. I'm going to get back to the bullshit. But one last thing. Are you familiar with Red Summer from 1919? Red Summer? If not, I'll send you a link.
Oh, send me a link.
Okay. You ever heard of Red Summer?
Send me a link.
Red Summer?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna send a link right now, and then we'll talk about this another time. All right. So Janet, Jim Jones, or wheel clamps and wheel boots. You ever had a boot put on your tire, Janet, or anybody that you know?
You had a boot put on his tire?
What's that? No, not Jim Jones. I'm just, that's my showrunner. A wheel clamps and boots put on people's tires. I find this to be a huge goddamn scam, if you will, industry. It's big.
It is a scam. Where is person at in PA? Because they do that a lot in PA.
Oh yeah, they had a show in Philly about putting boots on people's goddamn tires. Anyway, all right.
Can you imagine that coming outside with that big ass boot on your tire?
No, I've never been through it personally. But people are really having to pay. Oh, and in Atlanta, they have two females. A couple of years ago, I saw some story. Two black females. If you call them, they come and they have a key to take the boot off your tire. Anybody know what I'm talking about in the live chat? I forget the name of those two females. They're making a good living down there. But anyway, Jenna, I got to run and take other callers. Great to hear from you. Anything else you want to say in parting?
Oh, no. I just, I sent that email and I just wanted your thoughts on it. That's it.
I'll check it out after the show because it's like 2 paragraphs. That's too much for me right now. I'm an old nigga.
Bye.
Thank you, Janet.
Good night.
Good night. Okay. Fuck with Janet heavy. Guys on the screen, youtube.com/@Sid55 Studios. Sid, where are you? You guys calling in? Please email me. I want to get you on the line. Let's talk about your services. Whew. Hold on a second. Also, Rebel NYC, I want to talk to you about your clothing brand. Any new items that you have? Okay. Sid Studios, Sid55 Studios, okay, the second home of Southern Soul. And they've got a lot of things going on, and they can help you with final mixes, post-production, recording, mixing, Oh, they do mastering. Guys, go to that platform. Tell them I sent you, okay? youtube.com/@Sid55 Studios. Trying to get them to call in. Jamar, I got your donation. Thank you for tapping in. He says, didn't you want to test? Yeah, listen, I don't want to get into that, man. Jim Jones and I, we're good, man. We're good, and I know his mom, his beautiful mom. She knows me as Troy, and I know her as Nancy. So I'm like, you talking about that old shit, man. But thank you for your donation, okay? Area code 513. Hold on. Now, I think I spoke to that person already. Hold on. Let me go to 215. Pardon me. 215, good evening. Are you there? It's Wednesday.
Yo, what's good, Troy?
Yes, sir. How are you, sir? It's cracking.
I'm chilling. I was calling about I'm calling from, you said 215. So, you know, we got extensive knowledge with the boots.
Oh.
What you need to know?
Well, listen, I've never had a boot put on any vehicle or type, but this is a huge racket.
It's definitely a racket.
It's
definitely a racket. The parking authority is not ran by the city of Philadelphia.
There you go.
It's a private organization.
Right.
And they stealing money from the citizens. Usually, you can find a parking authority in black and brown communities in Philadelphia. They very seldom are patrolling in the Caucasian areas of the city. Whenever you go down there to pay a ticket, what's your payment plan number? You know, it's just like some 21st century crime mafia shit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, excuse my language. Some crime. It's pretty bad. They robbing the citizens. They taking their cars. They booting you. If you get a boot in Philadelphia with 3 tickets. So if you got 3 unpaid tickets, they put you on a boot list. If they find your car, it's theirs. If you don't pay your boot in 24 hours, they taking it down to one of the yards, and you got to pay everything on it. Like, so if your car got a bad inspection, if your car got bad registration, if you owe the city money, like on anything, they're not going to release your car. So like your 3 tickets might add up to like $300, right? But your insurance might have went bad or something. Anything they want you to pay everything. That might lead you up to paying $1,000, $2,000 on the.
Let me jump in for a second. I'm taking everything you're saying in, but now okay, so now how much is the interest per day? Let's say they want $300, whether it's for as you just said, a couple of parking violations. You're parked at a bad meter. The meter expired. How much is the interest per day if you can't go get your vehicle in 3 days?
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. All right, that's a two-parter, right? So say you get 1 ticket, it's like $38 or something, right? If you don't pay that ticket in like 10 business days, it go up to like $80. But as far as your car, so you can leave your car, like your car is only gonna stay on that lot for a month. If you don't have the money, that's gone. They're gonna auction your car off.
That's what I was about to ask. So at what point do they auction your shit?
They selling that joint. That joint gone. They selling that joint.
I've never been through this.
It's a scam. It's an unbelievable. I mean, you know, they could do it in certain cities like Philadelphia and Detroit because, like you always say, black people are powerless, right?
Sadly.
So this is like a majority. This is a majority black city, so they could do those type of things to black people. And like, you know, you go to certain Caucasian communities and you might have ticketed a lawyer or you might have ticketed the mayor's or a councilman's kid's car. You know what I'm saying? But black people, we don't really have that political power to say, yo, this is a crime. Like what y'all doing is a crime.
Right. Now, hang on a second. Something else I saw, and I'm not sure about, nationwide, which states really implement this type of severe, or harsh activity. But I saw a woman, I think it was in Florida, and she was visiting her parents, and she stayed beyond the point where her parking pass expired, and she was in at her parents' home. And the HOA, Homeowners Association, had 2 wheel clamps put on her tires in the driveway. This was a white family. And they had to come back from vacation. So is it deeper than just black and Hispanic communities now?
Well, I see that like a homeowners association is like, that's people that's higher middle class or upper class people. Right. You got a homeowners association. Right. So that's just people. To me, I guess that's just people being assholes. That's like them Karens and all that don't really have nothing to do. And they trying to. As far as what's going on in the city though, that's like it's fraud. Like it's really fraud. And they said that our parking authority in Philadelphia that had its own television show, by the way.
Yeah.
They said they make about 10 years ago. They said they was making about $1 billion every 2 years.
Is that show still on? Is that show still on?
I don't know. I don't watch. I would never watch that show. I don't know if it still come on. But all my friends and family that live in other states that see what's going on, like, yo, is that shit really real? Is it really going on like that? Like, it's definitely going down like that. Whatever you see,
crazy.
And they also had the one last thing. They also had to put badges on those ticket takers,
right?
Because they was getting assaulted. Like, so, like somebody would come up, like, yo, you writing a ticket on my car? They would hit them. They would attack them. So the state allowed them to wear a badge. So if you attacked one of them, your charges would go up, like even more, because you attack, you attack somebody wearing a badge.
Yeah. Okay. Hey man, thank you for the information. I'm kind of perplexed by the absurdity of this, man. Just and as you said, if you don't get the vehicle by a certain time, they auction off your vehicle. Crazy.
Yep. All right, take it easy.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay. Good God Almighty. Guys, Jim Jones has not been charged. Do you care? Should we move on? Should we shift gears? Hold on a second. Salute to the homie M-Rec. M-Rec, are you out there, man? M-Rec's got a comedy show. Guys, in my community section, just scroll down. You'll see the poster for M-Rec's show. Please watch it. It's called Knockout Kings of Comedy. Scrunch Show, D-Lo, Woo Woo, and a bunch of other comedians. Reggie Carroll. Again, it's called Knockout Kings of Comedy. And you should know who M-Rec is. He's one of your pioneers. Of this social media game that we are all a part of right now. Hey, Varnell, I got your donation. Thank you for tapping in. Oh, okay, so you Googled Red Summer? Yeah. That was a period in mid-1919 during which white supremacists terrorized and racial riots across the nation. 36 cities, to be precise. Yeah, it's called Red Summer for those who care about that sort of thing. All right. Give me 1 second, guys. Something else I wanted to check on. All right. Damn. Jerry Seinfeld taking shots at Howard Stern. Anybody want to talk about that? I don't have a Sirius XM, so I don't know what's going on. I have never had Sirius XM, but what is their issue? Anybody want to chime in? I'm curious. Pedro, got your donation. Thank you for tapping in, Pedro. Let's go to 313. Good evening. Are you there? On Wednesday. 313. Yes, no, maybe. Okay, folks, I can't do whatever you're doing in the background. Sheesh. 757, good evening. It's Wednesday. We're having a discussion here. Speed, 757.
Yes, sir. I'm up to speed. How you doing, Star?
How are you, sir? Two topics tonight. The wheel clamps or Jim Jones has not been charged for the airport brawl. Did you see the 2-on-1?
Yeah, I saw the 2-on-1, man. Shout out to Jimmy for still having hands.
He held his own. He did,
man. He did. I don't like how they approach him as the aggressor. That's my only argument or my pushback about that video. I don't like how the TSA people kind of approach him as if he was the aggressor of the whole matter.
Well, he is black. He looks like a thug. He's got his pants sagging off his ass. He's close to 50. What are we talking about?
Close to 50. close to 50 should give him the pass. Like he just trying to handle business. He just trying to get on the plane and go about his way. If he was 30, 25, yeah, I could say he was probably on BS. But 50, he ain't really trying to fight nobody in the airport.
Well, listen, I give him credit for sitting down. He sat down and he was, talking.
Yeah, he was chill.
Yo, they jumped me first. He wasn't all up you. Nah, fuck that. I'm going live. Yo, they try to do me dirty. I give him a lot of credit. He sat down, and then let the TSA and then the whatever police that is, just figure things out. So I mean, he's an older guy. Do I think he's a CI? I don't know. I'm not trying to clown and disrespect the guy, but I give him credit for sitting his ass down. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if he's a CI either, man. 1090 Jake ain't did no work on him, so I can't say that he is. It ain't been no paperwork yet. It ain't been no paperwork. If he is, he's a damn good one. He's a damn good one.
Did you see the paperwork on 1090 Jake, since you mentioned him?
I did see the paperwork on 1090 Jake.
He gave a statement. He gave a statement to the it was either the corrections board or the warden's office. So all that, him sitting around telling on people, he did it himself. But go ahead.
Yeah, it explains how you get his info. Yeah.
Yeah.
He gets documents that nobody else has the pleasure of receiving.
Facts.
So yeah, that's how I feel. And he ain't putting no paperwork out on Jimmy yet. So I don't know if Jimmy is CI. Shout out to Capo, man.
So we don't do shout outs, but I know what you're trying to say. Okay.
Yeah, yes, sir.
And any thoughts? Do you give a goddamn about booting and immobilization of vehicles? I'm interested in that.
No, I'm from Virginia, man. They really don't do the boots here like that. I've been in Philly, so I've seen the boots. It's a crazy thing to see when you don't see that on a normal basis.
Okay.
A big ass yellow boot on somebody's car. It's kind of crazy. And I heard the caller before saying like they can pound your car and then auction it off. Like that's tough for the community, man. When you're just trying to handle business, you probably just going in and pay a bill real quick, and now you got ticketed.
Yeah.
It's rough because they don't put a lot of parking garages in those cities. I've been to Philadelphia. It's hard to park. It's no parking.
Yeah. I think they take advantage of people. But hey, man, any thoughts on the NBA, the playoffs? Me personally, I'm tired of seeing niggas dunk a basketball. I'm just. Any thoughts? You care?
That's tough, man. It's tough. Yeah, man, that's tough to hear. I'm a baller, man. So I appreciate what I see these fellas do on the court, man.
Okay.
And I like Anthony Edwards. I like what he's bringing to the game, that old style. I don't really care to be friends. I'm coming to take your food. I like his mentality. I like him bringing back that style to the game. Prior to the LeBron era was like they were lovey-dovey.
Right.
They were friends. They were on yachts together.
Right.
Anthony Edwards, SGA, they showing that they really here to show their worth.
Okay.
And I like that.
Okay.
They not just here for the paycheck. They here to show they're the best ballers on the planet.
All right. I appreciate the call, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Guys, hold on a second. Something else I wanted to just mention. Jaleel White got married from Family Matters. I never watched that show like that. Good for him. Got himself a piece of snow. Got a big Kool-Aid smile. She looks very, very bland, very basic. Hey. Not a whole lot of upkeep. But there was something I wanted to hold on. Guys, what's going on with Shaquille O'Neal and Shawnee? She's always struck me as just, disingenuous. Anybody care about Shaq's wife, or pardon me, ex-wife? She was or still is behind Basketball Wives. She's got some book out or coming out where she's saying she doesn't know if she ever loved Shaq. And he responded in a classy way, saying, I'm looking for it. I don't see it. He said, I wouldn't have loved me either. You know, he took the high road. But now, what does that say about her? I don't know if I ever loved him. So were the kids just check babies, respectfully? They got a couple of kids together. Let's go to 917. Good evening. Are you up to speed? Jim Jones has not been charged in the airport brawl. Are you there?
Good, Star. Peace.
Yes, sir. Peace. How always cracking.
Good. Nah, Jim Jones should have got a charge, though. He needs to, I don't know, take self-defense classes, something. I disagree with you saying he held his own. It looked like he was kind of being hemmed up by two senior citizen white guys.
Come on.
And it looked like he was struggling, like all those calisthenics.
Right.
Like, I don't know, something just ain't clicking.
Right. Come on.
And to be honest, man, I feel like he's kind of been washed since he kicked Ken's back and linking up with 50.
He's put some good music out since then. Are you just...
I disagree with that, Star. Disagree with that.
Come on.
I ain't gonna say that. The music has been shaky, but like you said, he's how old is Jim Jones? You said he's pushing 50.
I forget. He might be in his early 50s. I haven't Googled him in a while. Good guy, you know. I'll Google right now whilst you're talking. Go ahead. Let me see what we forgot. Jim Jones. Age.
His mentality is just still like childish, like you said, pants hanging off the ass, the jewelry out, the bravado, I'm still on the corner. Like, we get it, man. Like, marry Chrissy, sit down somewhere, and live good.
Did they
I don't know, man.
I'm sorry. Did they get married, though?
Nah, they didn't. I think they've been engaged for probably like a decade.
Okay, according to Wikipedia, he was born in 1976. So Wikipedia says 47. I would say he's 51. He's 51.
Well, I don't know, man. It looked like, I don't know. I saw the video. It didn't look good. It looked like the first guy was he's definitely collecting Social Security, the first guy. The second guy looked like they was the same in age. It looked like a father and a grandfather. And I don't know. Jim looked like, I don't want to say it looked like he was struggling, but it looked like something that shouldn't have even been a challenge for him.
Okay.
Especially when he talks all this lobby boy, he's on Clubhouse arguing, he's in the streets, he's blood, all this and that.
Right.
Then you get confronted by two white guys and you're like, are y'all jumping at me? Yeah, they jumping you, pop.
Yeah, pop off, nigga. Pop. Go ahead.
Pop off. They ain't nothing to talk about. Yeah. It's like,
go ahead and drop a nigga. Drop a nigga.
Yeah, do something. I don't know, man. It's just, it wasn't a good look for JJ.
Okay. You make a good point, because if you think about it, Clayface, we saw Clayface drop two white boys. Well, he sucker punched Stitches. Stitches didn't see it coming. He dropped him. Remember that in Miami? And then he dropped. He had two guys on him, and he dropped one.
Oh, that other two guys, I heard that was staged. The two gay guys he was fighting in the parking lot. That was staged.
I'm talking about Whack 100 for those who don't know. I call him Clayface. Well, I mean, whatever. He dropped. At least he's dropping people. Jim, as you saying, you make a good argument. He could have been struggling. I'll let you finish up. Go ahead.
Yeah, like I said, man, I don't think this is the media attention Jim wanted. But only thing I will say, he did react accordingly once the situation was kind of de-escalated. Okay. Like, I would have expected him to go live and go crazy, you know, and play the race card, but he really didn't take it to that extent that I would have initially thought he would have.
Okay.
But nah, maybe they should have sat him down for 30 days, go to the county, get your weight up.
Well, CIs don't have to do time like that, sir. That's my point.
Has that actually been? I always heard that, but has anybody ever actually produced paperwork
in terms of him being a rat in a CI?
Yes.
Not to
my. We're just going off the 6ix9ine situation where with the phone tap where he should have been hemmed up. I ain't gonna lie, that is bad work on that part, but again, you know, you got to have black and white to make those accusations, but
not
the writing is on the wall at the same time.
Not to my knowledge, but you know, again, I think he did the right thing. He sat down, you know, and he wasn't, you know, woofing and barking up in the TSA's face, and he's back on the block. But I'll let you finish up.
Nah, he should have just had the same energy he had for Freddie Gibbs for the two white guys.
Okay,
that's all.
All right. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Peace, star.
Yes, sir. Peace. Okay. What is this about Universal Music Group mediating Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef? Any truth to that? Is the beef over? I hate to even use the word beef. Is it over? Sheesh. Guys, again on the screen, youtube.com/@coffee chat with Camille. Camille, are you out there? Do you want to tap in? If not, keep me posted when you post new videos. Let me say that again to sponsors. Whenever you post something new on your platform, email me. I want to drive traffic over to you. So hang on a second. There was supposed to be a mediation between Drake and Kendrick Lamar. Anybody want to chime in on that? 215. Good evening. Are you there on a Wednesday night?
What's up, sir?
Yes, sir. How are you? It's cracking.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here, man.
Shaking.
As far as the Jim Jones situation, man, like, I mean, he carried it. He defended himself. You know what I'm saying? He ain't act like the typical Jim Jones we know, because he ain't swing a punch. He kind of wrestled with them niggas. Like, I mean, the first one he kind of threw down the escalator. That was probably the most, you know what I mean? That probably was the craziest thing he did. Other than that, he was kind of just grappling and all that with niggas. But I didn't think he was gonna get charged anyway. Because like you said, he ain't act all wild and all that. He sat down. You know what I'm saying? He sat down and he humbled himself real quick. You know what I'm saying? He ain't want to mess the bag up. You see, after that, he posted himself, you know, dress jewelry on, making it seem like he had like an appearance or something. So, you know, it was just a little probably, who knows? He probably was sitting with them on the plane, had his headphones on. If you need some loud ass rap, they was trying to take a nap or something.
Well, now hang on a second, because according to the report, he gave a statement, okay, and he gave details. As an older man, yes, he did the right thing. Yes, I'm here to amp up the set. Don't get it twisted. I'm here to feast off of the carcass of the bullshit. Yes, but now, as an older man, he did the right thing. He sat his ass down. He has walked away from this situation. But at the same time, I have to ask: did he tell? He gave a statement.
Oh yeah,
come on.
Oh yeah, he definitely. I mean, you said I didn't even know he gave a statement like you said, but he gave an involuntary joint when he started saying, you know, y'all. He started playing the victim. Once he sees them cops coming down the escalator, he said, how can this situation not look like a typical situation with a street?
No, sir. He said, how can I get out of this? No, he said, how can I get out of this?
Right.
And you said that you said, I didn't mean to cut you, pardon me. You said the key word, involuntary. Go ahead.
Right. Involuntary, John. Just start spitting out shit. Oh, y'all jumping me? Like, what you mean? They jumped at me.
Yeah.
He went to the point of pointing out it's two against me, as if they didn't already see that.
Yeah.
He like it's them two against me. It's two against me. What I'm supposed to do?
Yeah.
You know?
It was them. Him and him pointing it out.
Right. Played the victim real quick, and I guess it worked out for him. If you know, ain't no charges being filed and all that. Listen, Jim Jones be dodging stuff. Like, I mean, the whole 6ix9ine wiretap. He with a lot of situations, even if they don't know how.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the speculation on if he's telling, he definitely, street niggas call that right there. You wasn't supposed to say nothing. Let them investigate, figure out what's going on, and watch the camera.
No.
To start hollering out, they jumping me and and all that. That was crazy.
All right.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. That's all I had to say.
But no, before you go, this world of putting boots on vehicles, I'm interested because never say never. I'm in the South now, but wow, that's crazy. I just did a small little bit of research earlier today. This is a hell of a goddamn racket. You can go out to dinner with your family, your wife, whoever. And if a meter is broken, a boot can be put on your goddamn vehicle. And when you come out of the restaurant, you're looking at a couple of $100, and you have to wait for someone to come and take off the goddamn boot.
Right. It's a bad joint. Like, they got something they put on your windshield now. They got some type of They got some shit that opened up like a book, and they place it on your windshield.
The suction cups. The suction cups. If you try and get it off, you crack the windshield.
Yeah. They vicious. They vicious, man. It's a scam. Man. Every big city got that type of problem going on, and that ain't going to stop, man. That's how the city. That's how the city find other ways of getting some money coming in. You know what I'm saying? They still won't take care of the streets or nothing like that. So I don't know where that's going, but that's a bad joint. That's been going on for years.
Well, listen, man, I'm
the whole boots and all that.
I might invest in one of those companies. Truth be told, if they getting paper like that.
Yeah, but see, in places like Philly, man, you call a crackhead, they had that joint off in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's crazy, man. That's all I had, Star.
I appreciate the call, man.
I'm tuning into the rest of the show. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do they call it a Denver boot? Hold on a second. The history. What is the history? Why is it called a Denver boot? Is this like a big thing in Denver, Colorado? Okay. A version of the modern wheel clamp, originally known as the auto immobilizer, was invented in 1944 and patented in 1958 by Frank Marug. Okay, Marug was a pattern maker, a violinist with a Denver Symphony Orchestra, and a friend of many Denver politicians. Okay, so this thing came out of Denver, Colorado. The Denver police first used the wheel boot on January the 5th, 1955, and collected over 18,000. $18,000, which would be equivalent in 2023 to 200,000 in the first month. Oh, I knew he was going to call in. White boy Rory. Rory, sit tight. I see you. Rory, sit tight. I'll be right there. Be right there. That's my homie, white boy Rory. He's going to kick in Jim Jones back. I assure you. Guys on the screen, tossedandslice.com, one of my sponsors. You've heard me mention them before. If you're in the Atlanta metro area, okay, you can log on to www.tossedandslice.com. Go buy and get any size pizza for free with the purchase of an equal or lesser pizza. Okay, just use code Star Report to redeem. All right. White boy Rory, what's cracking? You take issue with Jim Jones, yes, Rory?
Yo,
it's cracking, man.
Everything's good. What's good with you, Star? It's good.
Jim Jones will not be charged in the airport brawl that happened down there in Fort Lauderdale. I think he did the right thing, Rory. He's an older guy.
Well,
sit down.
Of course he won't.
Come on.
Of course he won't be charged, man. Of course he won't be charged. He's one of them, you know. How's he going to be charged? I never seen a black guy from the hood, a gangbanger, and a no gangbanger, saying it to the world. I am non-Trey Blood on the verses, right in front of the whole world.
Right.
And I never known somebody to be so trained in my whole life that when he gets into a confrontation with the police, he sits down on the floor, puts his hands up, and says, I ain't do nothing. They did it all. You know,
he sat in a chair, not on the floor.
Trained him well.
He sat in a chair, not on the floor. Go ahead.
Yeah. His Fed handlers trained him well. You know what I say? Listen, Jimmy, listen to us. If you ever get in trouble out in the real world
right.
with the police, with the foot soldiers, just sit down, you know, put your hands up, don't resist, and let them know.
And call us.
Do anything.
Call
us. Did, you know, I got jumped. And salute to them old white dudes. Salute to them old white dudes who wasn't taking no goddamn ghetto bullshit from the plane to the escalator. You know, salute to those old white dudes. So I'd rather get into a tussle with this black bum than knock it on, you know, they get out of my way. Not only did they get into him on the plane, they got right up in his grill on the escalator. One guy was 64 years old. The guy that he scratched, because, you know, we didn't see Jimmy throwing no punches.
Right.
There wasn't no punches thrown. We seen him pick up a 64-year-old guy and try to throw him down the escalator, and he ended up going down the escalator with him. You know,
right.
And then we see him on top of the 64-year-old man scratching his face like a hoe ass,
Go ahead and say nigga. You want to say it? Go ahead and say nigga. Go ahead.
No, I want to say it, but I'm not going to say it. I might not say it, you know.
I want to say it. Go ahead.
Yeah, we see them bend the old white man over the escalator and start scratching his face like he had Lee press-on nails on. You know what I'm saying? And that's nothing new for Jimmy. That's nothing new for Jimmy because he was in Paris with a see-through purple blouse on with glittery nail polish.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Walking on the catwalk. I'm too sexy for this blouse. I'm too sexy for this gangster purple see-through blouse. Who does that? Who does that, man? You know what I'm saying? Nah, man, salute to them white men. And one of the other white men that went to the hospital was 94. Could you imagine? 94. So he fought a bunch of them well over senior citizens and still didn't even throw no punch.
Well, now, hang on a second, Rory. He wasn't fighting. He wasn't fighting a 94-year-old. What are you talking about?
No, he wasn't fighting a 94-year-old, but one of the guys on the escalator who went to the hospital because of Jimmy throwing the 64-year-old down the thing. Yeah, he caught a stray one.
He caught a stray.
Yeah, right. So, you know, I can't think of a bigger definition of a pussy in my life. 64 and you 47. And you 47. You know what I'm saying? And you couldn't even punch homeboy out. If he was really disrespecting you like that, I wouldn't put my hands. I'm close to his age. I'm a year younger. I wouldn't put my hands on a 64-year-old guy. I might stop him. You know, I might stop him. I might put him on the ground, throw him on the ground, and say enough is enough.
Just grab him by the neck, yo, old man, old man, knock it off.
Chill out,
old man.
Maybe yoke him up. Maybe dope feed him. Yo, chill. You're gonna get choked out.
Right.
You know. But the last thing I'm gonna do is start scratch. And if I did do something, I'd punch his lights out. I'll tell you that. If he got me to that point, I'd punch his lights out. But I'm not gonna scratch him on his face like a hoe ass nigga from Harlem. Yeah.
Hold on, Rory, white boy Rory. Where does the hatred come from for Jim Jones? Where? You're from New York. From New York.
This guy is beautiful, Gacy, man. Nobody knows him. He's an industry plant. He's a total industry plant. Nobody knows him, man. He doesn't have any. This is a guy who's never been to Rikers Island. I mean, this is a guy who's so tough, who's so blooded out, who's so all of this and that. All the years we're watching him, you never stepped foot on the island once. You never. I mean, you didn't see Jim Jones. You didn't see True Life when he punched Cam in the face. You didn't see him. You didn't see him when he stole your chain, right? He was walking around with your chain. You know, you didn't see Gangsta Lou when he punched you in your face. This guy.
Didn't Max B swing on Jim outside the studio? Was that Max B swung on him?
Say it again, sir.
Was that Max B who swung on Jim and Jim ran inside this studio? Was that? I don't want to make shit up.
Yes. No. He made up some story that he got hit over the head with a metal pipe.
But I saw a video.
Phased him, and
I saw the video.
He started beating Max. It's like, come on, man. This is the first time we ever seen him get into a physical altercation, and it took a 64-year-old and another zesty-ass dude who was like slapping him in the back of the head. You know what I'm saying? He never turned around and threw the bangers on the dude that was slapping him in the back of the head. He already scratched the old man's eyes out like a bitch. You know, nah, man, come on. That was like a total L. That was a loss all day long. And, you know, as far as the snitching thing goes with Jim, like I said, his handlers have already told him how to act with local police.
Right.
That's why he knew what to say, and he was so quick to say that.
Man.
You know, you don't say nothing to the police. You're in the whole situation.
Yeah.
You don't say nothing. You're like, man, I don't know nothing, you know. Because if you get, when it goes down,
I gotta jump in and say you're right. Listen, I work with police. You're right. You have to follow direction. Follow direction.
Oh, come on, Star. At 46 years old, if you was from the street, and I don't even claim to be a street guy, but I've been to Rikers. I've been 2 bullets on Rikers, and I was in the street when I was younger. But I don't claim that. I'm not a tough guy.
Right.
But at 46 years old, I know I'm not saying the goddamn word to the cops or about anything in a confrontation that I get in. I'm not saying nothing. I got the right to remain silent. I'm going to use my right to remain silent. And, you know, no disrespect, officer. I was informed if I'm ever in a situation like this, I'm not going to say anything. I'll just talk to my lawyer. We're going to go from there. That's it. They don't say nothing to you. They respect that. And they put you in a tomb. They put you in a cell with, you know, 70 other dudes until you get the bus ride to Rikers. That's how it goes, you know. It's the same wherever he was in Miami. It's the same thing. You know, if he didn't say nothing, they would be like, okay, cool, we'll respect that. But no, this guy has been instructed on what to do. You know, so that phone call, that wiretap phone call, that's ridiculous. That people don't. Here we go. The Knicks won this game.
Oh, did they?
The Knicks won this game.
The Knicks just won? Okay.
Yeah, here we go. The Knicks won this game.
Okay.
We saying something. We coming to Indiana. We taking out the hits, and that's how it goes. The white boy won his game for us tonight. The center, Hartstein, he won his game for us. He stepped up. So salute to the white boy from the Knicks.
Hang on a second. I'm going to jump in, guys. If the Knicks are doing it like this, I will be checking out CP and his team on Knicks Fan TV tomorrow on YouTube. Salute to CP and Knicks Fan TV. You watch Knicks Fan TV, Rory, on YouTube?
Yeah, I've seen it before. Yeah. I've seen it before. Yeah. Good show.
Great show.
Yeah, great show. Good breakdown.
Yeah.
They always give a good breakdown. The Knicks are junkyard dogs. Jalen Brunson is a junkyard dog. I think he's a candidate for MVP this season. I don't care what anybody says.
Okay.
You know.
All right, listen, Rory, I got to slide, man. Great to talk to you, man. Thank you for your.
Yo, Star, real quick. Star, chill, real quick with the boots on the car.
Yeah.
You know how crazy this country. You know how crazy this country has got? That the people that give tickets in New York City they're all Bangladeshi. They
Ooh.
got some sort of monopoly on a job where they're the ones who give the ticket or the boot on your car. They're like some sort of Muslim Indian dudes. And women too, little old fat Bangladeshi women.
All right, easy with this. Easy with the attacks. Easy. Come on, I got you. All right.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, we're in a whole new world.
All right. Hey man, we'll talk tomorrow. Salute.
Yeah, you start real quick. I would never let an immigrant give me a
Rory, we'll talk tomorrow.
Or take me to jail.
All right.
An immigrant police officer is not arresting me.
Okay.
You're gonna have to call an American.
Okay.
I don't care if they're black, white, whatever. You're gonna have to call American.
Right.
Ain't no goddamn Jamaican.
All right. That's my guy. He's going left. Hold on. He's turned up on the yacht. That's my guy though. 517, sit tight. You are up next. Let me get to Cash App. You guys are supporting the machine. I appreciate you. Also, www.hudsontubs.com. Get a consultation, folks. If you are a homeowner, a landlord, if you're thinking about remodeling, reach out to Maurice. He'll give you a consultation. www.hudsontubs.com. Great guy. Tell him I sent you, please, okay? Sir Shy, thank you for your support as always. Star of the West Coast wants Kendrick to keep going in on Drake. Sir Shy, after Not Like Us, man, I think he should drop one more. I'm riding with Drake. I'm still riding with Drake. I didn't like him trying to explain and defend all the pedo accusations. Man, never mind all that. Can anybody bring me up to speed? I haven't, watched too much back and forth in the last 24 hours. What is Big Act saying? Big Act is my nigga. What is Big Act? Is Big Act saying Drake has one more in the tuck? Thank you, Sir Shah. Okay. He also says those buff Puerto Ricans played with raw. Okay, he's talking crazy. Nat, where's Nat? Where's my nigga Nat? Nat, great to hear from you, man. Salute, Nat. Thank you for your patience.
Yo, Star, this Nat permission. I just sent in a donation. Star, what's up?
I appreciate you, man. Take your time. Where do you want to go? Jim Jones will not be charged with the airport brawl.
Listen, I'm checking in. I usually catch a show on the replay, but I'm live tonight. I got the rest of the week off. I'm on vacation.
Nice.
Listen, it's hard to follow the white Denzel. It's hard to follow him. He shouldn't be so angry. The Knicks just won. I know you hate the Knicks, but they just won. So I don't understand that. But let me tell you another thing right now. I'm telling you right now, my son, let me change it up though. I ain't going there. My wife just gave me the look, so I can't go there. It's not political. But I'm just checking this, Star, supporting the show. I'm on my phone, so I can't see the show running.
Well, hang on a second. Nat, hang on a second. I hate the Knicks because I want them to turn it around. It's not by way of malice. It's nothing personal. I want to see them win a ring, a championship. It's the #1 market. I used to go to the games, sideline, expensive ass tickets and seats. Salute to Madison Square Garden security. When they threw me out for being, intoxicated, they
what you telling?
They escorted me out with class. Star, this way, Star. Come on, you can't do that. Have a good night. So hating on the Knicks, I hate to motivate. I want to see them do better. Come on.
I respect that, but I don't care about the Knicks. I don't care about the Yankees. I don't care about the Mets at all. Fugazi, they the Cowboys. Too much. It's too much time spent on them.
Okay.
But it is good. I think the NBA is better. I gotta give it up. I think the NBA is better when the Knicks are in the playoffs. It's kind of a lit scene, and I respect that.
Yeah.
But Jim Jones and all them dudes, and I'm gonna go back to that. You know what I'm saying? I'm almost 50. So the first week of that beef thing, I was into it. My neighbor was into it. We old guys, and we played up. We stick our music to our speaker and listen to that for a little bit. But I'm over it right now. That whole thing, I'm too goddamn old to be. I asked a young boy at work today, this young boy that works for me today, I said, what you think about that? He's 21. He said, man, I'm over that too. It's too much. I don't care. It's not the same. Hip-hop is foul. It's no one can. I think it's all orchestrated for devious purposes and to hijack narratives. These guys, no one cares. I've never been a Drake fan. I've never listened to that. I think Kendrick Lamar is the most overrated rapper in the history. I've never bought any of their albums. I swear to goodness, I cannot name 4 records by either of them guys. Needless to say,
if I can jump in,
go ahead.
If I can jump in, I don't have a problem with anything you're saying because this beef, if you will, has been promoted on major platforms by the dominant society, from Forbes to I don't know, CNN, Fox News. Why are they covering the Kendrick and Drake feud? So I think you're right. This is orchestrated to some extent. I can't think of anything else than yes. It's orchestrated. I don't know to what degree people are just following a script or not, but yes, it's all part of a psyops, if you will, and it's one big. It's contrived. Go ahead.
Absolutely, I'm 100% in agreement with that. And everyone, when the whole thing first started, you know what I'm saying, there's only a few podcasts I listen to, mainly yours, because, like I said, most of the time I'm in bed when you rock and roll, so I catch the replay, but that's how I catch most of my news. But for this thing is so crazy, like you just said, with main source media and main source people, when I got my neighbor who's 52 years old asking me my thoughts on it, it's crazy. And God, I lost my freaking point. But I'm saying the point of my thing is it's so monotonous and so ridiculous to me that, and people say, oh, we just want the lyrics. We want the lyrics. Well, guess what happens when lyrics and shots keep coming? It's going to get personal at some point. Right. Somebody's going to cross the line. So people that sit back and be like, oh, I love this beef, and we want this. We're waiting on the response. We're waiting on all this. We know where that's going to lead to, because it ain't going to be friendly jabs. So, and then it gets to a point, and then when people say, oh, it's too much now. What the hell did you think it was going to be?
Yeah.
In any beef, especially when the name, for some reason, how this is highlighted on these publications that we don't even rock, that I don't even rock with, and I'm being bombarded with it. It's like, what do you think this is gonna go? And then you hear the nonsense about something happened at Homeboy's crib the other day and all that. Where do you think this is gonna go? It's not. We've seen this before, and like the lust for combativeness, it's gonna come to that.
Yeah.
So but you know me, I like the
psychological warfare. I mean, it just seems like it's so much deeper than just making financial profit. There's a meaning behind pushing this, and let me just say this, and I'll let you finish up. The other day, I sat here and I said, why is Forbes doing a timeline of the Drake and Kendrick feud? Forbes, Business Insider. Why? No one is focused on the Kim Kardashian or the Taylor Swift diss song at Kim Kardashian. That came and went in like fucking 2 days. Go ahead and finish up, please.
Exactly. I got the same thoughts. I'm bored with it. The beef was crazy. Like 3 weeks ago when it first came out, my neighbor, we sat on the porch and listened to it. And I'm embarrassed that we was giddy on it that day. But now it's just every day I wake up, it's another thing. And man, who cares? These dudes, it's not about that. And again, let me land my plane. in the court of FBJ. It's contrived, and where did you think it was going to go? It's going to go somewhere, and I don't know, man.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Star, I'm out of here.
Great to hear from
Love
you.
the show. Salute, holla.
Thank you, Nat. Salute. Okay.
Yeah.
Back in the building, Star Report, Wednesday evening. Okay. Showrunner, More Galore, 404.com. That is Stacey Galore's URL website. Stacey Galore is a supporter of the machine here. Okay, Stacey has called in the past, and the site is soon to be up and running. Okay, so just want to say that. Also, with regards to my other topic, not a trending topic, but that's okay. From time to time, I just like to talk about things that pique my interest. It doesn't necessarily mean that you guys should, be in the loop, but I appreciate you allowing me to mentally massage these things. Booting and immobilization of vehicles. Let me just read something to you. Here was a question on Reddit that I saw. Would placing a car boot on someone's tire as a civilian be considered false imprisonment? No, but it's a crime called conversion, which is also a civil claim. It's basically depriving someone of the use of their property. Okay. I thought that was interesting because you can have, someone that owes you money, whether you're a baby mama or whatever. You want to prevent them from leaving. That's a crime called conversion. I didn't have time to Google conversion, but for those who care, right? Alejandro, I got your donation. Thank you for tapping in, sir. I've been keeping up to speed on things, of course, man, with regards to politics, but I don't always discuss that stuff on the show. That's really contrived, and I live a great life, and I spent a lot of my 20s, if you will, and 30s, being consumed with politics, and I'll just say stuff like that. And I got exhausted. I think a lot of people who claim to be hardliners, I think many of them are just hustlers, grifters, if you will. And it's different now. It's different. There was a time when your political stance, especially if you voted, that was a private thing. Now it's so commonplace to just, you ask somebody, well, what are you? Are you conservative, Republican, Democrat? And it's like, if you don't say, then you're, are you hiding? No, I'm not hiding. I just don't feel it's I don't feel the need to always give my position. Does that make sense? I mean, thank you for your donation, but it's different now, and I'm just not the person who I used to be in terms of caring, if you will. All right. Hey, Janelle, I got your donation. No, Janelle, I'm not up to speed on Angel Reese's sneaker. You sent a donation. Hang on a second. I will Google, though. You sent a nice donation. And then I want to say something about Angel Reese. Hold on. I want to try and be... respectful. Okay. She's got a Reebok sneaker. Good for her. Good for Angel Reese. However, she's a champion. But even with the young people today, it's like, it's so different. Let me just say this. One of the things that really stood out, not just in my mind, but in the minds of millions of people, was the way that the Jackson 5 and other, young groups and athletes, if you will, the way they carry themselves. It was different. You were committed to being a model citizen of sorts, even if you did a lot of low life shit behind the scenes. And this is not to take a hard shot at Angel Reese. And some of you may say, well, it's not that deep, Star. I was about to watch a video with her the other day. And as soon as I clicked on it, she starts to eat something. And I said, oh, I don't want to watch this broad eat. And I clicked off. Now, that may sound kind of crazy. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Let me go in the live chat for a second. I don't want to see you eat. I don't want to see you eating. Every female is not a lady, and some of you need to know this. Just let me ramble for a second here. Lady is a title that's given to you. Now, I know most of you, pardon me, you don't give a shit. But why would I watch Angel Reese stuffing her face? It turned me off. Anyway, thank you for your donation. Yes, I'm familiar with her. Reebok, signature shoe, and I don't give a fuck. I think she needs some type of training. Okay. Max, I got your donation. Thank you for your support. And also, Sir Shy, my apologies, sir. I got your donations. Thank you for your patience. Sir Shy, are you there? Sir Shy.
What's up? Yeah, what's poppin', Star? What's going on? West Coast, West Coast.
How are you, man? West Coast. Good to hear from you, sir. How were the kids on the bus that you talked to?
Oh, man, they over here clowning Drake, making memes and shit.
Come on.
You know, bumping the latest song. Salute to my little hey, Star, they're macho babies, man.
Okay.
These kids, they keep me up to date, man. They keep me up to date.
Okay. Come on.
But I'm glad Jim Jones handled those two mayonnaise munchers. He gave them a nice little two-piece. Kind of wish he was able to put his foot on their necks, but it's cool though.
Okay.
And he's a Caribbean, but we know he's 12, so yeah. I'm just glad nothing bad happened. I'm glad he didn't hit his head on the escalator edge or something like that. That would have been horrible. That could actually happen to the singer that actually fell down. So I think things happen the way it should. Nobody's dead. I think the 64-year-old is hospitalized, but just with minor scrapes.
Okay.
From what I read on TMZ, but that's really about it.
I have to agree with one of the earlier callers. It looked like he was struggling with those two guys. I mean, all that in the gym, working on his pecs and his triceps and biceps and all that. You would think that he would be a lot more, able to just, throw one guy off the goddamn escalator, put the other guy in a sleeper hold, and the whole thing would have just been done. Yes, no, maybe?
Yeah, he wasn't like the Mississippi Avengers down there at the boat thing. But I don't know, some black people, when they get into fights with whites, they get so memorized. Like, I can't hit Massa now. I can't hit Massa.
Good point.
So,
Good point.
And he's Caribbean. If that was a full FDA, the spirit of our ancestors would have made us throw a Evander Holyfield blow.
Good point. He knew his place, is what you're saying. Jim Jones knew his place.
Yeah, he knew his place. The only thing on basketball, if it's cool to switch subject, the only thing I would disagree with FBJ, I think that Dallas could make a comeback. I know they lost the first game. I think he pitched OKC. I agree with FBJ on his sports. I just think Dallas will come back and beat OKC.
Okay. Dallas Mavericks, for those who don't know.
Dallas Mavericks, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, Kyrie, Luka Doncic, and I think it'll be them in Minnesota versus the Knicks. The Knicks will beat the Celtics. Do
you think that Kyrie Irving is playing his best basketball? Because I've watched some of the highlights of him as of late, and he looks like his facial expressions are that of a person who is enjoying what he's doing. He didn't look happy when he played with the Nets. What do you think?
I think Kyrie is in his old 2016 form. when him and LeBron made that big comeback with the Cleveland Cavaliers against the Warriors. He was his handles. He probably has the best handles since Allen Iverson, Michael Jordan, and Dr. J. But I would agree. He's probably the most focused he's ever been. There's no drama. He's not going after small hats. He's just focused on basketball. And that's good for him.
Well, hang on now. He never was going after the small hats. He had, an opinion. He's entitled to his opinion, but he just looks like, to me, he's playing the best basketball, I'm going to say, of his career. In 2016, how old was he when he was on the Cavaliers? Wasn't he like very young?
Yeah, he was like either 19 or 20.
Yeah.
I think he played about a year or two at Duke, and then he was drafted #1 overall by Cleveland.
Yeah, hold on a second. Somebody. Okay, Rory, are you calling? And Rory said he wants to smoke.
Oh shit, Rory. Oh yeah, let's go. Let me go stomp his ears together. Let's get it.
Hold on.
Let me go Kendrick Lamar on this cracker.
Hold on.
Let me go Kendrick Lamar on this cracker.
Okay. Well, I'm texting.
Oh yeah,
Rory. Hang on.
I'm about to peel his potato.
Rory, call in now. I just got your. He said, "Give me a few minutes with Sir Shy." Yeah, call in, Roy. Let's go there.
Hey, sorry. I don't curse. I won't. You don't have to edit. I can roast Roy without having you to edit. Watch this.
Well, listen. If you guys need to go there, I'll let you do what you need to do, and then if it gets too crazy, I'll edit that part out. But just give me a second. Let me just read something.
Yeah,
hang on.
Okay.
Hang on, Sir Shy. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Okay, Stacy Galore. Yes, star. I'm covering fashion news, fashion shoots, culture reviews, interviews, and more. Thank you, Stacy. Keep me posted because it looks like they are coming for Cardi B. If you ask me, she shut down the Met Gala, but she forgot the name of the designer. People are upset. Okay, there is Rory now. One at a time, guys. Rory, you have the floor. Hang on. Sir Shy, let Rory go first, and then I'll go to you.
Oh, yeah, you go first. Trans people first.
Rory, can you fix the headset? It's a lot of echo. Fix the headset.
Yeah, no doubt.
Come on, speak up. Let's speak up.
I can't believe this black fruit ladies first. My man, you sound like you walk around with a whole fake designer handbag all day in San Francisco, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You just yourself. Imagine taking a job on a city bus just so you could talk to young boys. Just so you could. You said that's what you said. That's not my words. That's your words. You called into this goddamn show and said I talk to these young boys every day on the bus and ask them what kind of music they listen to and what's the flyest shoes they wear. Come on, you zesties. It ain't hard to tell. You a zest bag, bro. You a whole rainbow sparkler. You won't cam up. You won't cam up. I know you won't cam up. And you know you won't cam up. Because everybody gonna see your tweezed eyebrows and your goddamn black zesty ass on the camera. That's why you'll never cam up. You San Francisco treat. You rice-a-roni. Get the fuck out of here, man.
That's it?
Don't ever talk about me. Why you always got my name in your mouth, man? You like me when you see me on the camera, you zesty ass black dude. That's true, right? You extra cocoa butter in the morning, noon, and night. That's what you do.
Okay.
You put on extra cocoa butter before you get on that bus to talk to boys. Zesty ass black dude.
Okay, Sir Shy, you have the floor. Sir Shy.
Yeah, Rory can't hear because he talks so much shit. Them Jamaicans out there in Far Rockaway have to stomp his ear together because he's a bitch. That's just how Rory is, man. He wants to talk about. He's a shop
black dudes.
He's a shop steward. He's a shop steward, but all he does is get people fired. I would never trust Rory to be my shop steward. All he would do is lie on black people, tell them that they're late for work, and get people fired.
Here we go.
You a fan, Rory. You a fan of me. You want my attention. You want my attention, you Irish potato, huh?
Yeah, that's why you play with the. That's why you snitched on. That's why you snitched on Captain Tazaria. That's why you snitched on. That's why
guys, one at a time. Rory, let him speak.
Yeah, that's why Rory. Hey, but I thought it was my time though.
Let him speak, Rory.
I thought it was my time. I thought it was my time.
Let him speak, Rory.
Yeah, shut up, dick breath. You're the champion of cum, aren't you, Rory?
You have the floor.
You're the cum champ. You're the cum chewing champion, aren't you, Rory?
You have the floor.
Yeah, that's why they playing with Puerto Ricans' penises. Don't worry. Shit. You like to juggle Jamaican balls, huh, Rory? Don't ever talk about FBA news. I'll slap the shit out you. And I play with your daughter's pussy.
You would never.
I would play with your daughter's pussy, Rory.
You could never.
Okay, let's not bring the kids into it. Hold on a second. Hold on.
And then I beat you and your dad. I beat you and your dad just like Jay Jones beat those flights at the airport, Rory. Yeah, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it, Rory. I'll Kendrick Lamar your ass.
You need to stay in San Francisco.
I was Kendrick Lamar your ass. You can't come to the West Coast. You can't come to Oakland. You can't come to Compton because you're a bitch, Rory. You look like Elmer Fudd, Rory. I'm not arguing with niggas that look like Elmer Fudd.
Working around young boys.
Hang on a second, Sir Shy. Listen to me, Sir
Hey, you
Shy.
big old Elmer Fudd looking ass bitch.
Sir Shy.
I'm here.
Listen to me. Listen to me carefully. Let's leave the kids out of it. Okay, Rory's on the line. Hold on, Rory. Rory's on the line. Leave the kids out of it. I'm letting you guys get this off your chest, okay? Sir Shy, you have the floor. Go ahead.
Oh, I mean, I'm leaving the kids out of it, but his daughter's in my DM.
Leave the kids out of it, or you're out of here. Right. I'm not gonna say it again.
All right. Well, his dad's a bitch, just like Rory's a bitch. So, it's nothing. Rory's easy work. Gangsta Love. Zachary already roasted him. I already roasted him. Like, what's your fascination with FBA people, Rory? Like, you're not part of the culture. You're a colonizer, man. We slap colonizers out here. I'm from Oakland. I'm from where Huey P. Newton used to beat up crackers. So don't talk that shit, Rory. You hear me? You can speak now, bitch.
Okay. Rory has the floor. Rory, are you there? Rory?
He's probably buff.
Okay.
He's buffing a Puerto Rican right now.
Okay, Sir Shy, you're on hold. Let Rory speak. Let's finish this up, guys, so I can get back to what I'm doing.
You hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah. Like I said, this bitch ass just equated himself to Gangsta Love. He said him and him is his homeboy. That's who he equates himself to. Another Fruit Loop ass black dude. You know what I'm saying? Another punk ass black dude sitting in the goddamn closet. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta tell you, you little sucker from California, you little beach boy, black beach boy.
It's called Beats by Dre. It's called Beats by Dre.
Beach boy.
You can't come to Oakland. You can't come to Compton. You can't.
Okay.
What you mean? I've been to Oakland.
Sir Shy's on hold. One at a time.
Wherever the fuck I want.
One at a time. Good.
Yeah, I go wherever I want. This guy got to bring up colonizer. Let me tell you, Shy. I would never call this guy sir. Sir, nothing. He's Club Shy. He's like the next Club Shay Shay. He's definitely on a rainbow scale. Club Shy. We're not gonna call him sir nothing. Sir nothing. From now on, when he calls in, he's Club Shy. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Nah, bro. You call us a colonizer. Are you crazy? That's not a diss to white people. That is not a diss.
Hey, Roy, I know you ain't.
All right, guys, I have to go. Guys, I let both.
You had an Eddie Murphy moment, Rory.
I let both of
Come
you
on,
talk.
what are you talking about?
You a colonizer.
Thank you, guys.
I would rather be a colonizer in the New World than a slave.
You got caught with a Puerto Rican boy, Rory. Didn't you, right?
All right. I let both of them speak. Thank you, guys. Have a great night. Okay. On the showrunner, youtube.com/@Sky Saunders, one of my sponsors. Check him out. Tell him I sent you. Okay. Daily content from Skylar Saunders. Skylar, did you cover the Silky Hana diss track at JT from the City Girls? Troll babies, are you up to speed? I stay with the dumb shit. Still at my age. Troll babies, hang on a sec. Let me see if I got this right. I was working in my garden yesterday, and then I took a break. I was smoking a cigar. and I saw that Suki Hana, at first, she wasn't sure if JT from the City Girls was talking about her. JT was saying that somebody broke a cheap veneer on a crab leg. And Suki Hana said, well, I didn't hear my name, so I'm not going to, assume it's me. But then JT would not confirm nor deny who she was talking about. Thus, the reason why Suki Hana has now dropped a diss track. Yes, no, troll babies. Did I get that right? I am fucking embarrassed that I know this shit. Yeah. If anybody gets time, please send me the link. Okay, hold on a second. Lucy's Pearl says no. No, I'm wrong. Can you help me out, Lucy's Pearl? Something happened with breaking a cheap veneer on a crab leg. Terrence got your donation. Star, any connection between rap music and private prisons? Absolutely. Absolutely. Someone says, Star, you too old for this shit. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I got time. I got plenty of time. I don't have no wife, no kids. I have a somewhat sort of, I don't want to say girlfriend, but a female. She's in her 30s, and she's actually she lives about 50 or 60 miles away from me. I thought it was like 30 or so. But she resembles K. Michelle, and I was asking her about some of this stuff, and she started laughing. She said, "Well, why are you asking me about that stuff?" I said, "Because I want to be up to speed." Somebody please send me the diss track that Suki Hana put out. Going at JT from the City Girls. JL got your donation. Rory Britt Spears. Experience inspired by the Crying Game. Okay. Who's tapping in from area code 404? Good evening. It's Wednesday night. Talking about Jim Jones and a few other topics. Are you there? 404.
Boss Hall.
I'm right here.
Good ass on check-in, man.
Who that's? Where you been, nigga?
Boss Hall.
Good to hear from you. It's cracking.
Man, Boss Hall, man, I'm trying to get my life right, man. I'm trying to get shit together. Or pardon my language. I'm trying to get it together, Boss Hall. I'm trying to get it together. Look, let me tap in real quick on the Jim Jones, man. And then I'm out. Look, did you see Jimmy, Big Billy, non-Trace Silly? This man just threw this crack, or I almost said cracker. He threw the white man down the escalator, Boss Hog. Bruh, Jimmy, you supposed to be Mr. Vamp Life, Mr. Vamp Fit. How the hell didn't you put hands on this man? If we saw him only throw a white man down the escalator, imagine what he'd do to a nigga. Nothing. Man, Jimmy would get beat up with that bow leg, man.
Well, now, hang on a second. Pooh Nasty, to be precise, he didn't throw him down the escalator. They both fell at the same time. They fell.
They both fell due to the laws of physics and momentum.
Right.
Jimmy really didn't do nothing. Jimmy really didn't whoop nobody's ass.
Right.
I'm just being quite frank. All Jimmy did was kind of just use his advantage and kind of lunge him over the side of his hip. Jimmy, man, give me some slap bullshit. Pardon my language, boss.
Come on.
I'll keep coming, big nigga, but I ain't gonna hold back on Jimmy. Because you know what? Jimmy's one of my favorite rappers. You know what? DX. I love Jimmy, man, but you know what I'm saying? It ain't non-Trey Billy. It's two-gun roll at Pete game, but it's all the same thing.
Well, he's been putting out some good music. I will say that. The last couple of projects have been fire. I give him that.
Yes, sir.
I haven't heard the Lobby Boys thing that he did with Mano, but on his own, Jim has stepped his game up. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, s That's a fact.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I will agree.
Yeah.
And I didn't check out the last project with the Lobby Boys either, just because I'm not a Mano type of person.
Okay.
And Jimmy's still going off his potential. I don't know what separates Jimmy and his potential from the rest of the field, but we do give Jimmy that exception when it comes to his career.
Right.
And I'm all for it. Like we want to see Jimmy's little hoe ass win. I don't know what it is about him. Like for some reason, Boss Hog, when you know your partner's a rat, but you just can't knock the nail on the needle. But he's a rat ass nigga.
Yeah.
But you just can't hit the nail on the head. That's Jimmy, man, and we all love Jimmy. We want Jimmy to win.
Okay.
And we'll leave it at that. Boss Hog.
Now hang on a second. Pooh Nasty, are you okay? Because you support this machine. You said you're going through some things. I'm not a life coach, but are you okay? You okay?
Yeah, Boss Hog. I just had to, shake back from the baby mama stuff. Get out the emotion. Get out. You know what? And while I'm at it, I'm in the McDonald's drive-thru, but you know what? This broad can wait on the order. We on the line with Boss Hog. Look, that Drake and Kendrick beef, how do you feel about that?
Staged.
Who do you think won? Do you think we got a winner yet?
I don't know, man. I mean, musically, the last track that Kendrick put out, Not Like Us, that was fire. And I like I like most of Drake's music. I don't like the fact that he was doing too much explaining in the last track or trying to rebuttal all of the pedo allegations. But I'm saying Drake edged it out, but I can understand why more people would say Kendrick.
All right, and I'll leave it. I'll leave it at this. I watched Joey. Joey just dropped his podcast. Joe Budden.
Joe Budden.
Joey dropped. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Voice of the culture, as you named him.
That's a fact.
As you crowned him.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So Joey said the same thing like you just said. He said basically he did too much explaining and he did too much kind of harping on the whole pedophile thing, which you shedded too much attention.
Don't say that word because these algorithms are just all over the place. But listen, man. Joe's word is gold. So I would take what he said as law with regards to this. Hey, man, gotta go. Good to talk to you, Pooh Nasty. Salute.
Pooh Nasty out, boss.
Yes, sir. Okay.